I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by Bearded Iris, here to go over SEC baseball results from Thursday, April 13th. We've got two games, LSU beating Kentucky and Texas A&M, which hosted Missouri and won that one in a runaway to talk about. I'll start in Baton Rouge where, look, anytime LSU is playing, that team is not the headliner close to it, but particularly when Paul Skenes, LSU's ace, pitches. Last night, Skenes struck out 13 hitters through 111 pitches, 6 innings. Not the best box score line for him. That's two starts in a row where the box score line has not been up to par with what he's done before. But Skenes has banked so much work. He left last night with a 169 ERA, giving up 4 runs, 5 runs total in 6 innings. In the meantime, boy, did his offense stake him to a lead. LSU gets 6 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third. The Tigers get grand slams from guys in the bottom of their order. That was Jordan Thompson and Brayden Jobert, I think the 8 and 9 hitters for LSU. Cruz is going to hit, although he didn't last night. Actually, Cruz has been in a little bit of a slump. His average down to 495, which, look, when you're hitting 540, that's got to come down to earth. But he's still taking walks. He took 2 more last night. LSU's got so many weapons. Tommy White gets 3 hits, knocks in 2 runs. The beat goes on at LSU. From the Kentucky point of view, Zach Heiss just didn't get it done last night. Gives up 11 runs, 6 earned in an inning and 2/3, 3 walks, 6 hits. The defense kind of fell apart on him. From there, the bullpen was okay, I guess. Jackson Nove, Seth Logue, Madigal Cotto, Evan Byers end up finishing off the game for Kentucky. That game only goes 8 innings, I guess, because of the run rule. But in any case, look, this was a game that LSU, I think, needed to have more than Kentucky. The pitching edge, I think, tilts towards Kentucky after this one. LSU does not have, Chase Shores, Garrett Edwards for this weekend. Hopefully those guys are both back soon. Kentucky, most of its best arms are still out there. Darren Williams hasn't pitched, among others. So I'm going to say that if one team had to have this game, LSU's pitching has fallen off pretty significantly once Paul Skenes pitches. And now that Garrett Edwards, its best reliever, can't pitch this weekend. Same with Chase Shores. He's probably their other best bullpen arm. I'm not going to say that LSU isn't going to win this series because I think it probably still will given the hitting. But if there was one team that really had to have this game more than the other, I think it was LSU more than Kentucky. LSU now tied with Arkansas across the top of the standings in the West. Kentucky now drops to 4th in the SEC East at 9-4. And you know what? I forgot to put the standings up. I meant to do that. So let me find those. Here they are for you if you want to follow along with me. About Kentucky, still the nation's #1 RPI team as of Friday morning. That bodes very well for Kentucky's chance to host. Now, look, the toughest part of the schedule is ahead for the Wildcats, so they got to take care of business. And I think just getting one in Baton Rouge, you come out of this okay if you're Kentucky. We'll see if the Cats can do that. Now on to College Station, where you had A&M last night putting up a 9 spot in the third. Let me just give you some numbers on the Aggie lineup the last few games. Here are runs scored for the last 5 games working backwards: 13, 12, 9, 9, and 9. Now, you remember last year A&M started slowly in the out-of-conference. It started the SEC season with a bang, if I remember correctly, played LSU, and that's when the Bats picked it up. That wasn't quite the case this year. A&M waited a little bit longer. We've noted A&M's had some injuries. Guys like Ryan Targotch just have not hit according to their capability. But you're starting to really see that switch for the Aggies. Trevor Warner homers, Jordan Thompson homered. And that's 2 Jordan Thompsons in the league, by the way. You got one at A&M and one at LSU. Anyway, that one does go the full 9 innings, actually, because it was 13-5. From the Missouri side, Logan Lunsford, who I thought pitched pretty well a week ago, was not good. He walked 6 guys, gave up 5 runs, all those earned. Daniel Whistler came in after him. He gives up 4 runs in a third of an inning, and Nick Smith finishes off with 3 runs, none of those earned. Again, Missouri's defense sort of implodes last night with 4 errors. But if you're Missouri, a lot of your better arms are still to come. A&M has not used its one really reliable arm yet. Their starters just have not been very good. Nathan Detmer again last night wasn't very good. He goes 3 2/3, gives up 3 runs. All those earned, 5 walks. That leads to an 88 pitch count for him. Shane Sadeo, I guess that's how you pronounce it. He comes on and gives him 3 1/3 innings of relief, throws 77 pitches. He's the guy that kind of stopped the bleeding and picks up the win there. If you're Missouri, RPI this morning at 26, A&M's at 37. I think A&M right now in better position to get a regional bid than Missouri based on the league record, which is 6-7. Missouri, I guess, what now, 4-9. I may not have reflected that in the banner below, but that's what the Tigers are in the SEC. Missouri sweeps Tennessee in that opening series of the SEC and now has won 1 game since. Missouri plays much better at home than on the road. So if you're the Tigers, you just want to get one of these next 2 and get out of College Station with the win. At that point, you feel like you still got a chance to get into the NCAA tournament. I'm not saying Missouri can't without that, but certainly you don't want to get swept and start another losing streak. That would be 4 in a row in the conference if Missouri were to lose this one. Anyway, stuff to watch in the SEC Friday night. Pitching. You're seeing pitching changes everywhere. You're seeing Tennessee take all 3 of its guys out of the rotation. That's Beam, Dollander, and Burns. None of those are slated to start this weekend, according to UT's press release. You will see, I forget his name, Andrew, their closer, is going to pitch tonight for Tennessee in game 1. We'll see how that goes. He's been really good this year out of the bullpen, but it's, starting in the SEC on a Friday night is a different thing. Andrew Lindsay. Sorry, I went blank on his name. You'll see him start tonight in Chase Dolander's spot. I have no idea how much their starters will pitch. Also, thing to watch in Nashville, Bryce Cunningham will start on Friday night in place of Carter Holton, who's Vandy's ace, who sat out last week. He's going to sit this week out too, from what I hear. Hunter Owen, Vandy's too. This was not on the radar until yesterday. He is not listed as a starter for this weekend. I think Kylie McDaniel on Twitter had said that he's going to sit out tonight for some rest. So watch that. Vanderbilt's only going to have one of its 3 starters who normally goes on a weekend slated to pitch this weekend. Vandy's got a deep bullpen, but man, it's going to get tested by South Carolina. And of course, South Carolina, it looks like, is going to be without Noah Hall this weekend too. Anyway, we will recap Friday night's games probably on Saturday morning. Best way to get those, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That helps our analytics. We're going to be doing SEC baseball videos pretty much every day between now and the end of the regular season, and certainly well into the postseason. We'll probably do some draft stuff when it gets to be that time. We got power rankings coming next week. I'm starting to do the grunt work on the NCAA tournament bubble, hosting, getting in, all that stuff, starting to put that together. Probably going to wait till next week to come out with some of that, but the research has begun, and that takes a while. But anyway, if you are here for SEC baseball, you're going to get something about every day. It's going to be in-depth. It's going to be researched. When I come to the air to do these, they're not always perfect, but they are researched. I promise you that. You're going to get takes here you don't get other places, based on facts and stats and research and things like that. So hope you like it. It's a little bit different brand of baseball coverage, but we try to keep you updated. If you want a one-stop place to know what's going on in SEC baseball every day, I think you'll find a home here. All right, I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by Bearded Iris. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Saturday morning with another SEC baseball recap.